48-hour manhunt coming to an end Friday night, police finding the body of 40-year-old Robert Card.
Like many people, I'm breathing a sigh of relief tonight knowing that Robert Card is no longer a threat to anyone.
Card was found dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
And tonight, the city of Lewiston and the state of Maine begin to move forward on what will be a long and difficult road to healing, but we will heal.
Authorities had been zeroing in on this river. Card's car had been discovered near the boat launch there shortly after Wednesday's deadly rampage that left 18 dead and 13 injured. Meanwhile, officials releasing the identities of those who were.
We just gonna stop for a moment for all the victims who lost their lives. 18 people, and they finally are releasing the identity of the people who were unfortunately gunned down in this horrendous act of violence. So, let's just take a moment for those people because this is actually the first time they're releasing the said victims to the public. But let us continue.
Were killed at a local bowling alley in the town of Lewiston, that and a restaurant several miles away. So many of the victims leaving young children behind. Arthur Strout was a father of 5.
People loved him. They just loved him.
The youngest victim, Aaron Young, was just 14, killed along with his father Bill in the bowling alley.
Aaron loved to bowl, and it was something they did fairly regularly, and it just happened to be that night.
David Greenleaf and Lisa Osgood also were inside the bowling alley when gunfire broke out. Lisa's best friend, Trisha Aslin, was killed while trying to call 911. David says he saw the suspect drive away past police.
Thought maybe someone got out and was leaving, but they drove so casual. Turns out it was him.
ABC News has learned Card's sister told investigators she thought her brother may have been going after an ex-girlfriend who was frequently in the bowling alley. Sources tell ABC News that authorities found a suicide note addressed to Card's son with rantings and bank information inside, but no specific motive.
I just want to say my condolences to all the victims and the families of the victims. This is a heinous act. And Robert Card is reportedly found dead due to a self-deletion. And my first question is, did Robert Card really exist? And I know that the shooting was very real. It took place. It seemed to have went on way too long. For those who don't know, it was only 4 miles from the bowling alley where he went and shot up a club as well, a local bar that he frequents. And when I say is Robert Card real, what I mean by that is, was he a Manchurian candidate? Was he a sleeper cell? Was he given an identity? Because I covered this story very early on, and the facts of the case is that this man, he spent some time in a mental institution where he received treatment that was not listed to the public. He is on record of being instituted. And for this to happen makes me personally believe that he was basically placed there. And this is how it always happens. A suicide note, or the person gets deleted by the authorities before he's even brought into questioning. I just find it very odd that he had that much wherewithal to escape, and then to off himself seems strange to me. And I pray that the families have closure, although it'll be very difficult to have closure if we don't even have a motive. No motive at all. And it just doesn't make sense. And around this time of the year, around Halloween, we've experienced a lot of mass shootings last year and previous years to follow, or previous years past, rather. And I'm just wondering what's going on here. It's something just doesn't seem right. And I called it very early on that the character or the person was going to be sacrificed before we get any closure or any answers. And I see some people saying that the whole event is staged. Some people are saying it's a proxy. Some people are saying it's all fake. I personally don't believe it was fake. I think, and it's just my personal opinion, you have the right to believe what you want to believe. I believe that he was a hired sleeper cell who undergone all types of shock treatment, mind control, MK Ultra, and he was released into the public. That's my personal beliefs. And the reason I say this is because I understand the rituals and I understand that they use murder by numbers. And when I say they, I'm talking about the high ranking Satanists that are in control with a lot of these events. You know? So, I mean, some of you all believe it's all crisis actors and all fake. I believe it's a blood sacrifice. I believe it's a Halloween ritual. And I don't believe that Robert Card was the man's name, right? I believe Robert Card is a code. It's some type of code. And that's just my personal beliefs, but you welcome to share your opinions as well, ladies and gentlemen. But it's just unfortunate that the families don't get any real closure. All they get in is this so-called suicide note. And this story sounds all too familiar. It really sounds like something that's scripted as far as the storyline. Now, the shooting, we don't know. I mean, I believe that families are really dealing with this and suffering, but the whole story behind this Robert Card guy sounds staged to me. Now, somebody in the chat says the man, hold on, let me see. Somebody said Robert Card was a cover up. Right. And he was a suspect in the murder. And it's just so much that doesn't sit right with this case. The fact that they call him a person of interest, a suspect, but they never said he was guilty. They never said he was the one doing the shooting. He was never proven to be guilty, although they have cameras and everything. And they have these still shots of a man holding a AR-15, and they're still sitting there saying a suspect, a man of interest, not the man who did it. So it's just very odd how these two shootings took place not far away from each other as well, 4 miles from each other. So there seems to be a lot of holes in what took place. Could it have been more than one person operating? Could Robert Card be a fall guy? What is really going on here? Or could it be an all-out false flag? I don't want to say it's a false flag. Lone Warrior says you called it, Breed. You said he would be deleted. Absolutely. You know, I said that because that's the only way they can play this out the right way. That's the only way the script would make any type of sense and leave people with the daunting confusion of closure, of non-closure, or what really took place. You know, these are the type of games that they play. This is the type of games they play on the public, man. This is what they do. You know, right around this time of year, the sacrifices happen. And I told you all once, and I tell you again, the agenda is to come for the firearms. That's really what it's about. They really are trying to come for the military grade, high powered firearms. It's really what it's about, man. Because this story has all kind of holes in it. Not saying that it was a false flag, not saying that there were not victims. I don't believe that the whole event was staged, but I do believe that the person was set up. Um, the news told you that he heard voices in his head. When he attended the mental institution, it told you he heard voices in his head. And upon further research, some of his family was saying that he got high-powered earplugs, where he started hearing voices in those earplugs that were coming from somewhere he couldn't fathom. And this is what was told, that he had high-powered, new age earplugs, and he was hearing voices that wasn't there. And ladies and gentlemen, they do have V2K, voice to skull technology. There's psychological warfare. They create patsies all the time. Yeah, exactly. Like Jason Bourne, they really do this stuff. They have voice to God or voice from God technology, and they use these things. V2K is very real. So I mean, man, the fact that they told us this in the newspaper, that he heard voices, that he's been treated mentally. I think that's the reason why he snapped like that. I think that's the reason why he went on this rampage and offed all these people, man. Javar says the real question is, what were they doing that needed the population off the streets? I don't understand what you mean by that. Yeah, it sounds a lot like MK Ultra to me as well. And then not only that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just here to cover the news. I know it's a late night broadcast, but since you all are here, Big Mota, Memphis rapper Big Mota, he was just gunned down as well, man. He was hit over a dozen times. He was hit over a dozen times, ladies and gentlemen, which I'm going to share the news brief with you all. And this is crazy because the last time I heard about Big Mota, he was kind of like going back and forth with Black Youngster. I remember when Shy Glizzy got his chain snatched, Big Mota was there, involved in that situation. He's pretty much like a street legend as well as a rapper. Big Mota been around for a minute. At one point, I thought he had signed with Yo Gotti. I thought he had signed with Yo Gotti, but maybe it was just some street connection they had, because ironic enough, Big Mota was signed to 100 Rounds Records. And what I'm saying? His music was it was demonic. It was about murder, drug dealing, all of the above. And man, he got wet up. And I told y'all around this time the sacrifices was going to start. He was part of the industry. Around Halloween time, I'm telling you, these rappers be dropping like flies. And it ain't just the rappers. You're gonna start seeing a lot more take place around this time, as I stated in a previous show here. Let me share this with you all. Let's talk about Big Mota's death. Another Oak Haven shooting. Now, some people are saying, hold on, let's see. Now, some people are saying Big Mota may be still fighting for his life, right? That's what some people are saying. That he got hit 12 times and the brother might still be fighting for his life. A lot of people got mixed reviews on this or what's going on. But Say Cheese TV just came out, which he's pretty reputable. I haven't seen him miss too many times, and said that Big Mota is officially unalive. All right. So it's still people trying to figure out if the man is living or dead. But Say Cheese and a couple other outlets just came out moments ago saying that he's definitely unalive. He got hit up over a dozen times. So whoever was going after him, they went after him. And see, yeah, I know Black youngster brother just died not too long ago. Some people are saying it's retaliation. I don't know, because he was beefing with Black youngster. And see, these streets is cold, man. They out here just shooting guns like they playing freeze tag, man. They just going all out with it. Now let's see here. Let's see what they got to say about Big Mota.
Community, a dark colored car riddled in more than a dozen bullet holes on Chulahoma near Rains. It's another reminder of one of the latest shootings in the city that this time has apparently left a Memphis rapper known as Big Mota fighting for his life. People who live nearby, familiar with his music, but didn't want to be identified, are surprised to hear about the shooting.
That's a trip there, man. I mean, he was a good guy. You know what I mean? Cool dude.
Memphis police say they responded to a shooting Thursday night in the 4100 block of Chulahoma, where there was a large police presence. Investigators say 2 people were shot. 1 person died Friday morning. Friends tell WREG Big Mota was taken to Regional 1 Hospital with critical injuries.
With critical injuries. I mean, man, that's serious. See, man, these streets ain't got no love, bro. These streets ain't got no love. I mean, one of the brothers that was interviewed was talking about, he was a cool dude. Not according to his songs, man. He was talking about murder, drug dealing, anything you could think of, any filth you could think of. I mean, for real. So I see my Jamaica brothers in the building. But I'm telling you, man, that this is what happens when you cultivate that type of energy. Even if you're doing charitable work for your community and you rapping about nothing but death, violence, you can expect this to happen. I personally believe it's an industry sacrifice. I feel like they just ran up on them and they got them out of there. Because the industry, like they just told you in a news clip, it was a highly police populated area. So, why would somebody run up on them there? Unless it was orchestrated. See, you gotta understand, like the way these industry hits work, it'd be police involved, local law enforcement. They know when to fall back and let things transpire. Yeah, the man's album was called Straight from Hell. He was a hellraiser, and I believe he was signed to 100 Round Records and affiliated with the streets. And this is what happens. Like, look, all you rappers, up and coming rappers and artists, if you rap about death, violence, shooting guns, shoot 'em up, bang, bang, sliding on the ops, drilling, you're going to die. You're going to die. You hear me? You're going to die. You're going to be killed. Somebody's going to run up on you and they're going to air you out. And that's it. And then you're going to go right to hell. Even if you were a good guy and you were just rapping. Matter of fact, not too long ago, who was it? Ex-former Dallas Cowboy, Michael Irvin, just came forward and talked about how his son is rapping about a lifestyle he never lived. Put his son on blast. Like, you ain't lived like that. You was raised up good. You didn't have to do any of that. You didn't have to sell no packs or make no moves. You didn't have to do none of that. But guess what? That don't mean death won't find him if he keeps rapping about it. For real. Yep. Shamaya says it. She says, the sacrifices have to continue for them to get paid. Satan is never satisfied. Exactly. And Memphis is horrible, man. We talking about young Dolph. We talking about multiple people, man, dying in this city. Some of them unexplained. It's a dark place. Every year we got to deal with this. These rappers, man.
Live nearby, familiar with his music, but didn't want to be identified, are surprised to hear about the shooting.
That's a trip there, man. I mean, he was a good guy. You know what I mean? Cool dude.
Memphis police say they responded to a shooting Thursday night in the 4100 block of Chulahoma, where there was a large police presence. Investigators say 2 people were shot. 1 person died Friday morning. Friends tell WREG Big Mota was taken to Regional 1 Hospital with critical injuries.
But it's just sad to hear this shooting and killing all day, every day.
Fans and friends say Big Mota's music was making a name for the artist in the hip-hop community, and they call what happened to him yet another tragic shooting involving a Memphis rapper.
Involving a Memphis rapper. Another tragic shooting involving a Memphis rapper. What do they mean by that? Is it involving somebody else that's a rapper?
In the hip-hop community, and they call what happened to him yet another.
The hip-hop community, man. This is hip-hop music. Deaf culture.
Shooting and killing all day, every day.
Fans and friends say Big Mota's music was making a name for the artist in the hip-hop community, and they call what happened to him yet another tragic shooting involving a Memphis rapper.
Ain't nothing I can say bad about him, but in this city, man, you get some type of shine on you, man, they gonna hate on you. Somebody gonna come at you some kind of way, one way.
No, it's deeper than that. He had a foot in the industry. The hip-hop community seen an up-and-coming artist, and the hip-hop community got a blood sacrifice. They seen it as an opportunity. He was bumping shoulders with people in the industry, and it was his time. Why? You've been promoting death. Your music been bringing hell to the streets. You've been raising hell to the streets. And it's around Halloween time. It's around sacrifice ritual time. It was time for you to pay up. It was time for you to give up the ghost. So they sent them shooters. They sent them hitmen. And 12 shots later, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? And this is just how it is out here, man. Them streets ain't no damn joke. Yeah, this is what happens when you sell your soul to this industry. And I know y'all want me to feel bad for Big Mota and all of that. I get it. No, I feel bad for those innocent 18 people who was just out there bowling, enjoying themselves. Those people who were just out enjoying life. I feel bad for those people. I don't feel bad for somebody who is a gangbanger in interviews saying that they certified gangsters and killers and thugs. I'm sorry. So if you expected me to be, having pity for another rapper, another dead rapper, I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. I'm not doing it. Now, the people who was, in Maine, my heart goes out to those people. Condolences for those people, because those people was just chilling, enjoying their day, having a good time out. And some maniac, some lunatic that then probably got programmed by, some type of CIA operatives, FBI operatives, just runs through with an AK blasting. That's sad. But you know what the agenda is? There's going to be a lot more mental health evaluations when it comes to purchasing firearms. Yeah, imagine just chilling and you at the bowling alley, you bowling, you doing your thing, and somebody just busting the door, just shooting. It's crazy. Now, if you known for just creating negativity, evil environment, your music is about death and murder, all you talk about is beefing, what you expect to happen? I can't feel sorry for a person like that. Like, death is gonna come. I'm not surprised when that happens. That's the energy that these rappers cultivate.
Right now, police are still trying to figure out what led up to the shooting and find the person responsible, as neighbors remain on alert.
It's scary, because I got a newborn baby on the way, man, and
they're probably not going to find the killer, y'all. Y'all know how these rapper deaths go. They never find the killer. They never find them. So here you have it, another rapper dead. We won't find the killer because it was more than likely an industry sacrifice right around Halloween.
It's gonna be around this way, and hearing that type of stuff, man, that's just
shooting and find the person responsible as neighbors remain on alert.
it's scary. You know, because I got a newborn baby on the way, man, and I'm gonna be around this way and hearing that type of stuff, man. That's just gotta be more precautious.
Alex Coleman, WREG TV, News Channel 3.
Well, there you have it. So Robert Card was killed. I told you all that he was going to be found dead in my previous video. Just because that seems to go along with the storyline that they was creating. I just used my logic and astute observation to come to that conclusion. And I don't think Robert Card was a real person. I think he was a Manchurian candidate. I still believe that. I think that there's more questions that need to be asked from the family. The families need to request more answers. The families need more answers, y'all, because they need to understand how there was so much incompetence during this whole scenario. How this person was in psychiatric treatment. How this person was able to shoot up one place and then go 4 miles away and shoot up the next and still get away scot-free. They need to find out what the motive is. They need to request to see what was on the suicide letter. See, when it comes to losing family members and losing lives, pardon me, y'all. You know, how could you find closure if nothing is making sense? So the people of Maine need to really shake some trees and hopefully something falls out. That's my advice, because I don't see how anybody can get closure like that. Now, somebody says, you ninjas. First of all, I'm going to time you out because you don't see nobody else using that word. Say anything in the chat. Half of y'all ain't been through nothing. Never even had to swallow a fly before. I'm going to go ahead and put you on timeout because we're not using that word. And it is what it is, bro. You don't know what these people in the chat had to go through. Just because we're not promoting no ratchet, drug dealing gangster rappers, and just because brothers and sisters ain't feeling sorry for them, what's your issue? We should be caring about the 18 families that lost loved ones. We don't care about another dead rapper. I'm just bringing the dead rapper up. Only reason I'm bringing a dead rapper up is to prove a point that around this time the industry hits start. You're going to see some more. Oh, yeah, you watch. You're going to see some more. Yeah, but anyway, we got that person out of there. But look, I love each and every one of y'all. Y'all stay safe. Make sure y'all spend some time with the Most High this weekend. I had to come through and cover this real quick. But thank y'all for coming through, watching another video. More videos coming. Turn the notification on. Shalom and peace.